Dragon Ball Super episode 126. Real quick before we get started, I just want to quickly mention that I am one subscriber away from 300 subscribers, so if you watch this video and you like what you see here and you click subscribe, I will love you forever because it has taken forever to get 300 subs. With that being said, let's talk about episode 126. This was a really fun episode. I really enjoyed it. I had to watch it twice though because the first time watching it, I wasn't too into the episode, honestly. A lot of key blast spamming, a lot of fucking key blast spamming. I mean, like the first half of this episode is key blasts, and they're not framed in an interesting way. Some of them are reused, and it's just, I don't know. I'm really worried that the finale of this show is not going to look as good as it should because they've had a lot of episodes lately that have been really cracking under the pressure of doing so many action episodes week after week with reused animation and conservative animation. But that's mostly in the first half. Not that the second half has any masses of great animation, but it's better, it's framed better, it looks better, it's less key blast heavy, it's more focused on actual like choreography. But the first half, yeah, not a fan of the key blast spamming. It's just not interesting. And then when they try to bury Toppo under rubble, and like Beerus gets excited, and I'm like, oh god, GT flashbacks. No, the building, the car, no. But some of you guys will really know what I'm talking about. Some of my subscribers really know what I'm talking about. We've been talking about that kind of stuff. That's like a running joke right now in our Skype calls. But yeah, a little bit of GT flashbacks. But no, of course they didn't hurt Toppo. That'd be absolutely absurd and ridiculous. But no, he blows him away, obviously, and 17 holding his, well, I don't want to say holding his own, but he's like fending off a god of destruction, which is pretty impressive. And then you got Goku and Vegeta versus Jiren, which I don't know if that was a really cool like rapid punching exchange with Jiren like fighting them off from both sides, or if I was just really refreshed to see that after so much key blast spamming. But it was cool, and I like how they transitioned into the fight with shock waves from their fight hitting Toppo, and then it transitions over, and then he fires a blast, and that blast transitions back to Frieza and 17. And poor Frieza, dude. Frieza, I don't think he's ever gonna live down being Toppo's bitch at this point. I can see the memes coming, dude. Like, he is so Toppo's bitch at this point, it's just not even funny. But it kind of is. But yeah, Frieza, we don't see him by the end of the episode, so he's either scheming or he's going to try to hit Jiren from behind. I don't know what he's going to do. It was a decent first half, honestly. It was okay. The key blast spamming and the rubble burying him, like, kind of dumb. And the key blast spamming isn't inherently bad, but it's conservative and not very interesting looking, so it's kind of a boring first half. The second half picks up, like, immensely, though. The second half, once Toppo actually challenges Vegeta, and we get this fight that I've been waiting for a long time, because we had Vegeta versus Toppo before, and it got cut off, and I was like, damn, I hope they finish this fight later. I kind of gave up on that, and then we saw the next week's preview, and I was like, oh shit, we're going to see Vegeta versus Toppo. Hopefully it doesn't get cut off again, and it didn't. Vegeta beats him, and it's really cool. It's a cool fight. You know, Toppo has the advantage. Vegeta thinks he kind of pulls a shonen, voice crack. Oh my god, he kind of pulls a shonen hero, and he thinks about his family and his promise to Kaba, and he gets a boost of power. I don't think it's an unbelievable boost of power, though. I think it's power that was there. He just motivated himself. He's fighting Toppo. He's blocking all of his God of Destruction energy attacks, or he's hitting him in the arm or leg to prevent him from using it. Very strategic, very cool fighting choreography. I like how it's framed and storyboarded. Great choice of music. I think that song they used when Vegeta really started beating the crap out of Toppo, that's a song they've only really used for beams. I think they used it for like Kale and Caulifla's like Christmas lesbian blast or whatever I called it. Roshi's Kamehameha. And I think they used it for Vegeta's final flash against Jiren. So it's cool to see them, his first big final flash against Jiren. He's done a couple now. So yeah, that was really cool. I kind of like how Vegeta's just busting out final flashes too. Like in this new form, he's just like whipping them out like they're nothing, and they're not little tiny ones either. Like they're smaller than like a full scale one, but still, it's kind of cool. It shows the power of this form. But anyways, that's like a digression. Great choice of music. It was cool to see it instead of put to a beam attack, it was put towards actual like choreography and punching. I thought that was a really good choice. And then Vegeta uses the big, you know, explosion, like thanks Bulma, thanks Trunks, and even you Kakarot, you know, and he does the big explosion, but he doesn't die. And I think the flashback was a little too long. I don't think we needed to see the whole scene. I mean, I love it. I love that scene. It's really well animated. But I don't think we needed to see the whole like, final explosion scene. But whatever, nitpicking, and then he uses that really cool angle with the light kind of passing by the camera, just wrecks the arena beyond what I thought this arena was going to look like by the end of the episode, and yeah, it was a really cool finale to their fight. Toppo gets eliminated. Vegeta's battle damage too, even that's kind of interesting. We've never seen Vegeta get like shirtless battle damage, so he looks kind of interesting right now. You don't see Vegeta without a shirt very often. It's a little weird actually, but I dig it. It's cool battle damage for Vegeta to have. It's more interesting than just, little broken pieces of his armor that he usually gets. I figured, if anything, he was going to look like the end of Future Trunks, but nope, shirtless, and Goku will be shirtless soon too, so it's kind of cool to see that old school, like, Dragon Ball Z battle damage coming back. It really helps sell that the characters have been through a lot, and it'll be cool to see him fight like that in the next episode. Android 17 is still in it. I think next week is going to be his last episode, though. It's like the final barrier or something like that. Preview's cool. Jiren looks badass with his big aura, and I don't know what he's going to do. It's like the approaching wall. I hope Jiren isn't just like... I hope Jiren just doesn't just create like a giant energy wall around him and starts pushing. That's going to be really stupid. That looks like it's what's going to happen, though, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it was a really fun episode. Vegeta was a badass. His final clash with Toppo was definitely really cool. I like the debris, too. If you notice, and it's something more like I would notice because I follow the animation a lot, but I think other people might notice, too. Toppo and Vegeta, when they're charging up their attacks and the rocks are breaking from the floor, they look really modern. It's very modern style debris effects. It's not like your typical Dragon Ball debris. It's not cubes, but it's more like flat and rough, but it looks really nice. I don't know who animated that, but I doubt that they're a regular on the series. It might have been someone else stepped in, and it looked nice. It wasn't like super well animated. It was conservative, but it looked good, had good effects, good flow. The debris looked really nice. Again, I liked Vegeta's, like the shine of his attack was like passing by the camera and shit. It was really cool storyboarding, really cool effects. And just the massive explosion. And you just see the arenas just laid to waste. It's a really fun episode. I think it'll definitely satisfy Vegeta fans. It definitely satisfied me, as I'm not a huge Vegeta fan. I don't think he's like the greatest character ever, but I do like Vegeta a lot, so it was a really cool episode to see him fight Toppo, believably beat him. He has that character motivation. I know he hasn't regressed. A lot of people think he's regressed. He definitely hasn't. This episode shows that. And yeah, it was really cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to mention. No, I talked about Frieza being Toppo's bitch. I talked about Toppo being eliminated, which is story progression. I think Jiren was a little cold to them. I don't know if I mentioned it. I might have already mentioned Jiren's characterization seemed a little off to me, but I don't know. We don't have much characterization from Jiren, so maybe this is totally fine. But yeah, it was a fun-ass episode. It really was. I really enjoyed it. Just the key blast spamming at the beginning, trying to bury Toppo. A little bit of characterization stuff with, like, 18 and Jiren seemed a little bit... that's like nitpicking, though. No, it was really fun. Really enjoyed it. Love the stuff with Vegeta. I just really hope... And there was reused animation in this episode, so I really hope that... It's crazy. Because I'll get to the point I was going to make, but Yoshima did last week's episode. Yoshitaka Yoshima is the solo animator, for those of you who don't know. He solo animates episodes, maybe with a couple other people. Like, there's people there to clean up his work so it looks more presentable and it's well drawn, but in terms of actual animation, it's just him, maybe one or two other guys to do some really big scenes. And there was like no reused animation last week that I saw. And then this week, with a full team of animators, at least presumably, there's reused animation. And Yoshima storyboarded this episode too. He did last week's episode by himself, and he storyboarded this episode, I think with Tadayoshi Yamamuro, which I wish I had more to say, because Tadayoshi Yamamuro is such a big name in Dragon Ball. He's the character designer, promo artist. He storyboarded, directed, and supervised Resurrection F. He's almost as big as Toriyama in terms of Dragon Ball, and I don't have much to say. I don't really know enough about his storyboards. If he had done supervising or key animation, which maybe he did, there was some pretty on-model stuff in there, but that could be anybody. So yeah, I wish I had more to say about that, but yeah, Yoshitaka Yoshima's a monster. Definitely the hardest worker on the show. Just the fact that his episode had like no reused animation, and this one and the one before it did, is just crazy, especially since he does them almost by himself. But yeah, enough talking about him. It was a really, really enjoyable episode. Hopefully hopefully him doing a solo episode helped the production. Hopefully using these massive amounts of, well, I don't want to say massive amounts of reused animation. In the Gohan Dispo episode, yeah, like in the Gohan Dispo episode, the reused animation was the action. In this episode, it's not nearly as bad. So hopefully they can pull their shit together. It looks like Shimanuki next week. He's always fun to watch. I love his art style. He's been a little worse than usual as of lately, but he's okay. I still like his art style, so hopefully it's cool. Hopefully he does some cool beam animation and stuff, because he's really good at effects. His movement is a little iffy now, but his effects are great, so hopefully he can do some of that stuff. It looks like it'll be an effects-driven episode with Jiren's aura and 17's barriers, even those are probably CGI, but whatever. So yeah, it was a really fun episode. Like I said, I'm gonna stop rambling now. What did you guys think of this episode of Dragon Ball Super? Go ahead and tell me in the comments section below. Give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, if you like what you've seen here. Almost to 300, like I said. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.